Welcome to The Explainer. You know, we live in a world that's basically built on code and data. It's given us these incredible innovations, but behind all those sleek interfaces, there are some hidden costs and some really urgent ethical questions. So today, we're going to pull back the curtain on the unintended consequences of the tech we use every single day. So let's kick things off with a pretty jarring story. Picture this. A graduate student at the MIT Media Lab, Joy Buolamwini, is working with a facial recognition program, and it literally can't see her face. But why? Well, because she has dark skin. It was this shocking moment that revealed that the very code we're building our future on can completely overlook people of color, a problem she famously called the coded gaze. Okay, so where are these hidden costs actually popping up? We're going to explore the unseen flaws hiding in our code, then we'll get into the battle over our personal data. After that, we'll look at the growing digital divide and the surprising environmental price tag of all our tech. And finally, we'll ask the big question: how do we even begin to build a better digital future? First up, let's talk about the ghost in the machine. We tend to think of artificial intelligence as this totally objective, numbers-driven thing. But what happens when that AI learns from our world, a world that's, let's be honest, full of human prejudice? Well, it can end up not just mirroring our biases, but actually making them worse. Here's the key thing to get. AI isn't just born neutral, it's trained on data from our world. And if that data reflects decades or even centuries of inequality, whether it's in hiring, policing, or healthcare, the algorithm learns those inequalities as if they're rules. And it does it all under this dangerous disguise of being objective. And this isn't just some academic theory, right? This is happening in the real world. Amazon actually had to ditch an AI recruiting tool because it taught itself to be biased against women. In our justice system, an algorithm was found to be almost twice as likely to falsely flag Black defendants for future crimes. And in healthcare, a system designed to help the sickest patients systematically overlooked Black patients who were actually sicker than their white counterparts. And this gets right back to the heart of what Joy Buolamwini discovered. Studies confirmed it. Some of the biggest facial analysis systems were just wildly inaccurate for women of color. Why? Because the data used to train the AI was overwhelmingly white and male. The result is a system that is effectively blind to whole groups of people. Now, a lot of these systems, biased or not, are fueled by something we all produce every single day: our personal data. It's become the new oil of the digital economy for sure. But in this mad dash for data, you have to stop and ask, who is really in control of our most personal information? For a lot of us, the Cambridge Analytica scandal was a massive wake-up call. It showed the entire world how data scraped from tens of millions of Facebook profiles could be weaponized to try and influence elections. Suddenly, it was crystal clear that our digital footprints weren't just being used to sell us stuff. They could be used to try and manipulate what we believe. The public outrage was so intense, it led to a record-breaking $5 billion fine for Facebook. But it was about more than just the money. For really the first time, a tech giant was held accountable on a massive scale for how it handled user data. That moment kicked off a global conversation and a powerful push for new laws to give us back some control. So in response, you're seeing governments finally starting to step in. Europe really led the charge with its big GDPR law, which basically treats privacy as a fundamental human right. Here in the US, states like California followed suit, giving people the right to know what data is being collected on them and to demand that it gets deleted. A whole patchwork of protections is starting to form, building a totally new standard for data privacy. But you know, there's a deep paradox at the heart of our connected world. While technology promises to bring us all closer, for millions of people, it's actually creating a deeper divide. It's leaving them on the wrong side of a digital chasm. I mean, nothing captures this better than that photo that went viral a while back. Two young girls sitting on a sidewalk outside a Taco Bell, just so they could use the free Wi-Fi to do their homework. It's a really shocking image, and it exposes this deep irony. Right in the heart of the tech world, many people don't even have the basic access they need to learn, work, or just participate in modern life. And the data? Well, the data tells a stark story. Access to reliable home internet and all the opportunity that comes with it is deeply, deeply tied to wealth. While pretty much all high-income households are connected, just over half of low-income households are. This isn't just a tech gap, it's an opportunity gap, plain and simple. And all this technology, from the servers storing our data to the devices right here in our hands, it might feel virtual, like it all just lives up in the cloud. But the truth is, it has a very real and growing physical footprint on our planet. So on one hand, you have these massive, and I mean massive, energy-guzzling data centers that power our online world. They can consume as much electricity as entire industries. And on the other hand, you have these toxic mountains of e-waste, the final resting place for all our discarded gadgets, from our old phones to our laptops. And here's the really shocking part. We are doing a terrible job of managing this waste. Globally, less than a quarter of all our discarded electronics are properly collected and recycled. The rest? It's often just dumped or burned, leaking toxic materials into our environment and wasting billions of dollars in valuable resources. Okay, so with all these challenges, from bias to privacy to waste, what do we do? How do we start to fix these problems and guide innovation toward a future that actually protects people, promotes fairness, and, preserves our planet? At the heart of this whole debate are two competing ideas. On one side, you have permissionless innovation. That's the whole move fast and break things philosophy that basically built Silicon Valley. And then on the other side, you have the precautionary principle, which is more of a better safe than sorry approach. It's all about building in guardrails to prevent harm before it can even happen. And finding the right balance between these two is probably the central challenge of our time. Answering tough questions like this one, that's the real work ahead of us. It's not about stopping innovation, not at all. It's about steering it with intention. Because if we don't consciously embed our values, things like fairness, privacy, and sustainability, into the code we write and the systems we build, we risk creating a future that reflects our worst biases, not our best intentions. So the question isn't just what can we build, it's what should we build?